Have you ever wondered why some ACCA students study for months, attend every class, and solve every question, yet when they sit for the performance management exam, the paper feels like a trap? And at the same time, there are those few students, often the quiet ones, the ones nobody expects, who walk out of the exam hall confidently, scoring over 70%, almost as if they already knew what was coming. The truth is simple: performance management isn't a difficult paper, but it is an extremely predictable one. The only problem is that most students never learn how the examiner thinks. In this video, I'm going to take you through the entire ACCA PM syllabus in a way you've never seen before, what the examiner wants, where most students fail, how to study each topic, and the hidden tricks PM questions use to confuse you. Make sure you watch till the end because the last section contains examiner insights students normally pay for. What PM really tests? Before we jump into the syllabus, let's get one thing straight. PM is not a memory-based subject. It's a thinking subject. MA was about formulas and plugging in numbers, but PM is about understanding what those numbers actually mean in real business situations. The paper tests your ability to analyze performance, interpret results, and make decisions based on data. It asks questions like, why is this happening? What should management do? What does this number tell us about performance? Students who treat PM like a math exam fail. Students who treat PM like a business decision-making paper score the highest. Full syllabus breakdown. Now let's break down the PM syllabus in the way the examiner wants you to understand it. Information, data and decision-making. The first part of the syllabus deals with information and decision-making. It teaches you the difference between raw data and meaningful information. The examiner wants to know whether you can identify what information is valuable and what isn't. PM questions often include irrelevant details intentionally. Average students fall for it, but high-scoring students know exactly what to ignore. This chapter builds your ability to judge data quality and make decisions based on reliable information, a core skill throughout the exam. Cost accounting techniques. The next area is cost accounting techniques, which acts as the bridge between MA and PM. You'll study absorption costing, marginal costing, activity-based costing, ABC, and throughput accounting. But here's the twist: PM doesn't just want you to calculate numbers. It wants you to interpret them. For example, if ABC shows one product is more expensive than others, the examiner wants to see whether you can figure out why. PM questions also test your ability to make decisions in situations where resources are limited, such as choosing which product to produce when you have a bottleneck. This is not a formulas chapter, it's a logic chapter. Budgeting. One of the biggest parts of PM is budgeting. This section includes types of budgets, behavioral aspects, flexible budgets, and variance analysis. But the examiner rarely asks simple, straightforward calculations. Instead, the goal is to test how you react to changes, unexpected results, or shifts in performance. Budget questions often show unrealistic assumptions or inconsistent figures, and the examiner expects you to point that out. Most students make the mistake of treating budgeting like a mathematics topic. In reality, it's all about business logic, understanding planning, control, motivation, and decision-making. Standard costing and variances. Standard costing and variances are where many students lose marks very quickly. You'll learn material variances, labor variances, overhead variances, mix and yield variances, and planning versus operational variances. But again, the secret is not in the formulas, it's in the interpretation. Every variance tells a story. A labor rate variance may indicate poor planning, low quality material, or inefficient staff. A material usage variance might point to wastage or poor quality control. Students who simply calculate variances without explaining why they occurred leave huge marks on the table. The examiner wants the logic, not just the number. Performance measurement. The final major area is performance measurement, the heart of the PM paper. This includes KPIs, the balanced scorecard, divisional performance measurement, ROI, RE, EVA, and non-financial performance indicators. This section tests your ability to analyze whether a business or department is performing well or poorly. It's the most logical, reasoning-heavy part of the syllabus, and here's the best part: even if you struggle with earlier chapters, strong performance in this area can help you pass. The examiner loves questions involving real business scenarios because these test how you think, not how much you memorized. How the examiner thinks. To pass PM, you have to stop studying like a student and start thinking like the examiner. The examiner wants to test your reasoning, your ability to analyze performance, your interpretation of unusual numbers, and whether you read the requirements carefully. Many students actually know the content, but they still fail because they rush, misread the question, or ignore key details. The examiner repeatedly mentions in reports that lack of interpretation, not lack of formulas, is the biggest problem. Why students fail PM? The truth is, students fail PM for a few predictable reasons. They try to memorize instead of understanding. They practice too few exam-style questions. They ignore interpretation-based requirements. Their time management falls apart in the exam. And most importantly, they don't read the requirement carefully enough. PM requires calm thinking, not fast writing. If you slow down and understand the examiner's intention, the paper becomes far easier than most students think. How to study PM the right way. If you want to score high in PM, you need a structured approach. Start by learning concepts slowly and clearly, don't rush. Then, move into exam-style questions as early as possible because PM is 70% application-based. Every time you solve a question, write a short reasoning statement explaining your answer. This strengthens your interpretation skills, which is what PM heavily rewards. Analyze your mistakes, correct your reasoning, and finally, take full-length mocks. PM is one of those papers where time management alone can make or break your score. If you've stayed till the end, you already understand PM better than most students. Performance management isn't a memory battle, it's a decision-making exam. The more you practice thinking like a manager instead of a calculator, the more the entire syllabus starts making sense. If you want a full week-by-week PM study plan, just comment PM plan, and I'll prepare a detailed breakdown for you. This is Education Bench, helping you study smarter, think sharper, and perform better. See you in the next video.